This time we're going to be talking about Firespell, which is found in A Walk in the Mountains. It is written for lever or pedal harp. It's one of the more difficult pieces I've written. I would guess maybe it's late intermediate. I hope you have some good harp technique because this very busy piece could hurt your hands without good technique. The first thing I need to address, there are two places in the recording that differ from the sheet music. My 36-string lever harp doesn't have this G octave, an octave lower, that the pedal harp does, and I missed that deep resonance. So by throwing in this bass D on the and of 4 in measure 6, I still get this depth that I was missing in the lever harp version. In measure 33, I added a beat. When I was writing the piece, I wanted this section to last a little longer, but I also didn't want the piece to be more than 4 pages. Still, when I play the piece just for myself, sometimes I improvise, especially on measure 33. It's just an F chord. Here's what I actually played in the recording. So getting into that, starting at measure 31. This piece demands a lot of musicality to play well, as it's all about your interpretation, your ability to phrase and tell a story. The piece is literally about that hypnotic feeling you get when you stare into flames, whether it's a campfire or a fireplace. Both the music and the motion of your hands can mimic the movement of flames. So in this piece, you need to phrase everything. The first 4 measures are a classic example. If you just played this metronomically, it wouldn't be all that interesting, but by getting louder, softer, faster, slower, pausing, you can make magic. One thing my teacher stressed to me is to know where every note is going. In the very first 4 bars, I can illustrate what I mean. Here's the melody as played in the left hand. The right hand is just a little arpeggio. Watch that thumb so it doesn't get too loud. Now, which is the note that you're going towards in that phrase? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? I've chosen this note to be what I consider the top of the phrase, and the next note is coming down from it. These two are building. This is the top of the phrase, and we're coming back. And we show that by getting louder, getting softer, speeding up, slowing down. In this piece, you can use rubato as much as you feel is in good taste and fits the way you play. Leaning into. Now, even though this is part of just that arpeggio, it does connect to this next note in the left hand. See how it leans into that. So every note, even if it's just a filler note, it's still important. It's going somewhere. In the next 4 bars, we're setting up this pattern that you're going to be playing through much of the piece. Now, in the right hand, this is where I caution you not to play too hard, especially on pedal harp where you have a high string tension, because you don't have time to completely close your fingers. You can build up tension in your hands. You have to really think about keeping your hand very relaxed. For the most part, it's not the melody. You want to keep it all very light. In this right hand pattern, I find it helpful to roll the hand towards the thumb and back towards the 4th finger to take some of the pressure off of the fingers as they play. It can be difficult for the 4th finger if the hand stays back here too far, so you want to move back and forth. In measure 9, the main melody begins. Some of the time, this thumb in the right hand is actually a melody note. I've written an accent on it when it is a melody note. When the left hand comes up and grabs the melody notes, it's more obvious in the score. The secret to making this melody work is to keep everything light that isn't a melody note, and that can be quite a trick. Keep these fingers very light and bring out just the melody and let that bass ring really well. In measure 13-14, watch this G, because in measure 14, the thumb is not playing a melody. You have to remember to lighten up because the only melody notes in measure 14 are in the left hand. In measure 15 and 16, I am fingering the left hand, but you could just use the second finger. It's a different sound. By placing the fingers, I feel it's more legato, but you also have a different tonal quality by using 3 different fingers. If you use just the second finger, it's all more biting, so it depends on what kind of a sound you want to make. Now, phrasing the melody. Choosing the peak of your phrase. Pick where you're going. It's up to you. In measure 21, the left hand has to grab these notes, but the right hand is also there. So I just come in and grab them with fingers 2, 3, kind of locked together like this. Measures 23 and 24 are building up to the new theme that starts in measure 25. Where is this C going? It's going to the next melody note that's going to happen. So be aware that as you're finishing up this phrase, it's going into that next phrase that's about to begin, starting at measure 25. I've written a little slower. This page is more rubato than the rest of the piece, and you can phrase it a million ways. In much of these arpeggios, I want you to accent the bottom of the arpeggio as well as the top. You don't have to work too hard on the right hand because that thumb is going to want to be loud anyhow. But I want to hear suggest one really good way to practice this whole page is in block chords. To practice in block chords, take a look at each arpeggio and play all the notes at once. That gets you in the habit of getting all your fingers ready at the same time and eliminates the guesswork. Oh, where are my fingers going? Your hands will automatically go. Your hands will automatically go where they need to be. Measure 31, I back off on the right hand a little bit and listen to the left hand more. Measures 36 and 37, I am thinking about returning to the beginning of the piece. So I'm getting at first softer and slowing down, but I might build it up again as I approach the return to the beginning of the piece. Here's another time where it's just part of an arpeggio, but it's going somewhere. Now, the second time through pages 1 and 2, I am not as rubato. I am more likely to be metric and even rush the melody a little bit. So we get to measure 38. We have 4 really fun arpeggios that use a broad range of the harp. This is another time that I definitely started by practicing in block chords. So I'd grab each chord, play and place, and place, and place, and place. Only after playing these block chords and getting my hands acquainted with the shape that they were going to need to grab quickly, only then would I play it slow and preferably with a metronome. And without any expression, what I'm doing is feeling each finger in control. Gradually increasing the tempo with the metronome until I can play it pretty quickly and absolutely metrically. Only when I can play these arpeggios metrically, reliably, with each finger getting heard, then I start to phrase it. I like to hold on to the bottom note and maybe the top note. That might be too much. Sometimes I like to play it so I'm rushing to the top and then feeling like I'm falling off a cliff when I come down. But just playing it evenly works really well. You can get very expressive with these arpeggios, but watch out for fingers that are too loud, fingers that are too soft. You want each note to be heard. If I was still struggling, and I did quite a lot because my fourth fingers are weak and my thumbs are too strong, I would use that dotted eighth note 16th pattern that I talked about in another lesson. So I'd practice it like this. All the way through and then reverse. And as you're playing, listen for which fingers are struggling to be heard. Listen for where you're missing notes. Listen for notes that aren't showing up. That will tell you where you need to practice, where you need to pay attention to a finger that is struggling, maybe changing your hand position a little bit, or maybe just making sure your hand gets where it needs to be on time. Finally, in the last few measures of the piece, where the fire is slowly going out, you notice I put little breath marks in. Let the music breathe. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for buying the sheet music. If you don't have it yet, you can go to folkharp.com, or many sheet music suppliers will carry A Walk in the Mountains. Did you find a way to use Firespell in some wonderful program? Write to me and let me know how you're using it. I just love hearing from you. Mosquitoes keep biting my fingers.
Here, let me get over there.
God, the same ones are going to come back. They're full. You want to move that one round log that's the little round ash piece that's right in front of me. It looks like a skull. It just looks wrong.
This?
No, the one right in front.
This?
Yes, thank you. Perfect, thank you. It does. It looks like a head. I want some nice glowing embers, but that's really creepy.
Do that. I'll get out of this way.
Oh, that's great. Just keep doing what you were doing.
Yeah, but you don't want my stick in the way.
It's not. I'm just focusing on the sparks, which is above your stick. That is really, really, really cool. Just don't catch your hair on fire.